Hello everyone. So welcome back to my not so perfect video. Actually, I just put it as a caption in one of my LinkedIn posts, but I just felt it like, okay, it's not so perfect, but it brings you a perspective and sort of insights from my learnings. So today I happened to have a call with one of my friend who's doing his master's in business analytics uh, in the USA, as well as we used to discuss a couple of things usually. So that's how today I end up sharing a framework sort of things to really build some wonderful projects for the graduate level or something like very worthy and like the way we to accelerate our learning or to bug ourselves. Oh, okay, wait, this is how we need to really do, right? So in that way, I usually share some of the systematic way of thinking, or let's say some visualized way of thinking. Okay, let's put it in that canvas kind of thing, and then let's frame an idea. Right? So that's how this time I shared him um, a triangular way for anyone who's into data science, machine learning, and analytics, how they can really build a good project, a good, an effective commitment to learn something by ourselves by doing that, right? So that's how this triangle is all about three different things to concentrate and balance. It's not like everything has to be focused perfect and focused equally, because sometimes if you wanted to focus only on the third element and the other two elements to be kind of usual, right? So that's how the triangle will focus on business, analytics, or machine learning. The third node should be focusing on engineering. Because why I kept this engineering as a separate node is uh, in the contemporary age, almost all the job roles or all the problem statements involve scale and an engineering effort. It's not just engineering is not just scale, but also some sort of optimization side of things, or scale only in terms of data set, but consumption side, maybe it might be very simple thing, right? So it differs. So that's why to focus on that, the engineering should always be one element that's a key thing to check, right? So let's take, for example, if you are a master's student, or if you are in India and sort of looking for how to get into the industry. You might be doing undergraduate in India. So it's just three things, as I said before, like business, analytics, and machine learning, uh, and uh, and engineering. So you don't just oh, okay, it's only for analytics and machine learning. No, it's for anybody, right? If even if you are getting into, let's say, computer vision, that's actually commented. I'm just kind of blabbered there, like data science or statistics, or let's say you're focusing on social sciences, quantitative social sciences, or you are into sort of anything of the quantitative uh, skills that you're learning, right? So that you can keep it. That's simply three, right? It's not like that I invented it. It's just over the conversation we were able to frame it in this way, and that gives some sort of a guidance. Oh, okay, this is what I have to focus on, and this is what I need to do, right? Some sort of an affirmation of very common knowledge, or let's say the scattered learning that we already have, right? So let's say you take any business problem, right? This business problem is what gonna give you a canvas of all your thoughts or all your problem solving capabilities, or let's say just to put whatever you have learned. Okay, can we do this? Can we do this? Likewise, just put some assumptions and all such things, right? So sorry, this guy is always sneaking, right? So in that way, let's say you worked on sort of marketing related projects, or let's say you are interested in marketing, or you're interested in supply chain, or you're interested in just people management, let's say customer support, or people management in the sense like HR. So yeah, oh, that's why I mentioned like that not so perfect video. So yeah, in the business is going to be like a canvas that you can really put out your assumptions, or let's say your ideas. Okay, this is how we need to approach, or should I check all these things? And maybe you can decide, okay, let's put it on Apache Spark pipeline, or let's put it on a dashboard, automated dashboard, or I don't suggest actually like building a dashboard as a project. Like that's a byproduct that you consider. Sorry for that. Like it's more of like something that gives you decisions, or sort of like insights or automations. Not just okay, this is the sales graph. By just looking into a sales graph, you may not be able to understand anything other than the seasonality or ups and downs, right? So that's why I always suggest that like we shouldn't be like doing what the machines are right now doing, or let's say something very mundane. Okay, so that's why like under the business you just focus on different ideas, different problem statements, and validate them. Pick one. Okay, and for that you just put all your assumptions and different sort of requirement. This is how I need to show, or all such things. Then get into the methodologies, machine learning or anything that I mentioned before, right? There you can work on, let's say, building a statistical work, or let's say a machine learning model, or fine-tuning that machine learning model, or just simply using an API also. But because if I just say like, okay, you take a problem, you build a model, you just deploy it. So it's not that like very surface level. So that's why I'm just taking a time, and then how different it is, I'm defining it. Otherwise I just would have created a Canva thing like, okay, one business, one analytics, and another one is in engineering. No, not that. Okay, so here you spend some time in understanding those methodologies, right? By just like studying a paper, like attention is all we need. So that's fine, that gives you more understanding. But for a project we need a moat, right? Like for a product or a business, everyone has the moat, right? So the same way, what you are going to do that, right? Okay, I'm going to like validate let's say interpretability of models, or I'm going to validate how the false positive rates are getting reduced with this method and this method. Likewise, you can do that skeptical experiments or analysis, right? You take any models, 2 models is enough, right? Compare those model results. So you might be wondering, like in a boot camps also people are telling that only. You see, in boot camp, what you do in a for loop, you just build multiple models, then forget, oh, okay, SVM performing better or XGBoost performing better. No, right? So take enough time, compare these 2 models or methodologies with enough depth, right? As you can do, as you can push yourself, and learn the criticisms on that particular methodology. For example, if you just go by the bootcamp way, you just use SMART for your imbalanced thing. But when you continue to seek what's the best, or is it right? Is it always right? Like such skepticism or such empirical studies would help you to really understand what the industry leaders are saying and what is reality that is underrated, right? Everyone is say like XGBoost is all we need. I know one LinkedIn profile every day he opens up, like you just put like XGBoost is all we need. Like once this AI hype started, like he just vanished, right? But you take any methodology, you spend quality amount of time just understanding. Like I was like, I learned Kalman filter in my last semester, not in the last semester, but sixth or fifth semester. But in my previous project, one of the recent project, I was using Kalman filter for modeling customer behavior. And then I learned Kalman filter may not be efficient. Then get into some latent factor models or some dynamic factor models, and then getting into the details like how this differ from this, where Kalman filter just considered the previous uh, autoregressive part most of the places by default, and then like we kept on explore and learn and then check like how we can bring that latent factor that's getting explainable, right? So that's actually based on the conversation only, right? So the same thing is what I'm suggesting. Like you take any methodology, get into the details, become a skeptical person, skeptical idiot that can we compare this and this and all these aspects, or just get into a perplexity and kept on asking sort of, let's say, critics or some rare insights. So that will really help you ahead to become, like, let's say, to help you be ahead of many people, right? And once you sort of, let's say, tried all your different, applied research brain, right? It need not to be always publishable side of things, right? Because sometimes we lack of guidance, mentorship, and privilege to publish. But when you have this kind of checklist or this kind of direction, you can still do a better job, right? And that's very relevant to the industry because that's what you are focusing on. Okay. And then you get into engineering element, which is how I can optimize this model serving. And there also you can study, okay, when I hosted this trained model fully on full precision, let's say 16 bit, it was performing this much. And then I performed some quantization, this went down. Or let's say, how do I want to like maintain the trade-off, right? Likewise, you can play around. Or let's say you don't have any neural network model, but you have a time series model, or let's say a very linear equations based model, or a nonlinear statistical model, but you wanted to do it for n number of customers, or let's say multiple places or multiple products, right? Then how you can build that optimal pipeline, right? You can think about using a Spark, or you can think about trying to, write it by the NumPy based things. Because like I remember that like back in my early days, we used to build the model, and that model, a linear model, right? And once we build such models, like to get into the production, we just take the weights and bias, which is nothing but like beta naught and beta 1, beta 2, beta 3, all such things. And we just load it into SQL query, right? So that the SQL query would do that, the multiplication and addition and all such things. So likewise, you can play around. You can think of how you can scale. When I say scale, you don't put a constraint there. It has to be like Facebook level or Twitter level or something. But scale is something subjective to you, because you might be working in 1,000 rows. For you, the scale is a million rows or 100K rows, right? Likewise, you just set new milestones and focus on that. So as per engineering side of things, you can build an optimal end-to-end pipelines, or a deployment strategy, or a sort of let's say I mean, the code optimization, or maybe you can bring an algorithm here, right? Because it's not always like data in that it's getting into the model and then getting into the output. No, you might be need some sort of like some very traditional search algorithms to filter the initial candidates for your recommendations projects. For that, you might be using a mix of BM25 plus something, right? So likewise, you can think of like bringing in a better coding practice, better maybe introduction of algorithms, or like hybrid things, right? So now you have a very good triangle that can guide you a business problem in Canvas. Quantitative methodologies like analytics, or let's say statistics, machine learning, and engineering segment that gives you a space to optimize, scale, or experiment, right? So these three things is what you need ultimately, and it's not something new. It just I've just kept it arranged. So you just like think slowly. You take a very interesting problem statement that's there in your let's say any industry that you like. For example, if you are really interested in F1, or if you're really interested in FIFA, which is I mean the football. I just wanted to like confirm that. That's why I mentioned like the football, right? So you can take data sets related to that and see like what that you can solve or that you can build for these use cases, right? So that gives you a next level of idea that okay, the next project could be like something better and something much of utility based, much of let's say value based, right? So that you can do that, and you can ask like when I can bring this AI engineering or context engineering, all this, bring everything here, right? You just like don't build dashboard, don't build a chatbot, don't just build one single notebook worthy of things, right? You can bring that context engineering, I mean, a solution or a RAG or whatever it is, but have that skepticism factor there, checking, okay, can I play around with my context in this manner or that manner? Or can I introduce my own flavor of retrieval part with the help of metadata and with the help of sparse embeddings? Likewise, you play around and have a sub experiment to that, right? Oh, okay, this is what I validated. Like I have like a dense embeddings, sparse embeddings, and a hybrid embeddings, and I validated on my own crafted validation data sets. So the thing is, the ultimate aim is having a space for you to define the problem, to define the experiments, to define the level that you can really go, and to define your own validation. When I say your own validation, in the sense, it's not like, okay, I'm going to introduce something new to the world. It's not that. It's like crafting our validation metrics from the data that we have, rather than just like, oh, okay, let's just like run it as usual. No, you take some time and then understand, especially to the AI engineering related or agents related projects, right? I mean, the worth is really depends on how really you spend time in validation and crafting all such things, right? I've read a book from Cal Newport. He's saying like the craftsmanship is what like something really helps you I mean stay ahead, right? Rather than just having a passion. Like if you just go and ask like who's interested in AI, everyone will be interested in AI. Like who can craft a very good thing in AI is what something really matters, right? And it's subjective, right? And that's all about I just wanted to like cover I mean in this not so perfect video. So it's like kind of a repetition and affirmation, so that you can realign your focus, and you can be very clear that okay, this is how I need to approach. So you don't need to like follow anything else. Like yeah, fine, because I worked for years, so I can say this. Like so, you just follow this, the triangle, just fill it, just take some time in everything. For example, if you are a more business focused person and a little a technology person, right? If you are, let's say, focusing on product managerial role or technical managerial role, you focus more on this problems and business side of things, come up with a unique problem definition, and then utilize methodologies at level that you can, right? And if you are a more engineering personality, or let's say sort of programming personality, you focus more on this side of things. Maybe you can try to write everything in C++ or Java or something, so that you can prove, hey, I have done something very better latency than a very usual way of doing that. So for all these elements, there is a demand, there is an opportunity, there are ears that can hear that story. But all the problem is, there are a lot of noise, right? Once they started listening to a good signal, right, things will become better and better, and will be favorable to people who really work something, I always say, unique and interesting, right? So try this once, right? It's not like one day thing. At least take a month, right? 1 week, or let's say 4 or 5 days, for identifying your problem statement, and then and defining that, and getting into, like, let's say 2.5 weeks, you're focusing fully on your models, solutions, or statistical methodologies, all such things. And then 1.5 weeks for playing with engineering, or you can tweak, right? And this is going to work fantastic. I'm assuring that. You just try it out. This will be really helping if you are abroad, or if you are even in India. If you are looking for, let's say, I want a career transition, I want to, let's say, I'm just bugging my mind, like what to do for my final semester project, or some worthy project, right? That's going to be like, you don't need even a mentor, right? You just follow this, just talk to Perplexity or ChatGPT, just to like revalidate your thoughts, and then like correct your path, and then like collect the requirements or the data requirements, or let's say to understand the models better, to understand how to interpret something, to infer something better, and then to learn maybe a new algorithms. For all such things, you just all need a web linked chatbot, so that you can easily get that things at your hand, right? So this is what all you need. Because as I said earlier, not everyone is privileged with mentors, PhD people, or leaders, or someone who can really pamper you for a cause, right? Because I'm someone like that, because I never had a kind of mentor to to give me a full-fledged thing. Obviously, right, that won't happen always, right? So this is what the not so perfect video, but a perfect idea, a perfect framework is going to help you out. Let me know, how does it feel like? How does it actually helping you? So I'll be like sharing all such thoughts. I'm saying, right, like crafting order of chaos. So this is what that, right? Thank you for watching. Stay tuned with me. And this is your Prabhakaran Chandra.